The source material presented in this video is shown in its original form. No edits, cuts, speed changes, or other alterations have been made, for edutainment purposes only. Stephen Asarch is a professional journalist. This video does not reflect that.
It's my hot body, I'll do what I want.
It's showtime.
If you hate videos being constantly interrupted by commenters, you're not going to like this one because practically every single thing that is in this video is worthy of a critique. And Stephen, being a professional, receives no quarter. Oh, that's a pirate term that means we're going to eviscerate his ass.
Hasan Piker has been called a terrorist.
Now, the new face of the left, I keep doing my best to make this guy the face of the left because, you know, he's a terrorist.
And using Nuxtaku as the sole example of someone calling Hasan a terrorist immediately negates the label, as Nuxtaku is well known as a right-wing liar.
A champagne socialist.
Hilarity surrounding champagne socialist Hasan.
Oh, wow, it's another right-wing liar. Stephen, this is shamefully obvious.
A dog shocker.
Mr. Dog Shocker is wondering.
Wait, why doesn't more Pegasus get screen time? You cut him out because he has credibility, didn't you?
A hero.
That's a comment and a podcast episode. You really couldn't find a single person saying in words, Hasan Piker is a... I'm not even going to say it because it's obviously not true.
And an enemy of democracy.
You just put 2 Twitter comments on top of an Asmongold video. Are you implying that he said the things in those comments? Because we can see by the comments themselves that he didn't write them.
It doesn't matter where you turn. Everybody has their own thoughts on him.
Tonight at 10, journalists surprised to learn that people everywhere have opinions.
On some sides of the internet, he's a hero, a progressive ideologue, and a champion of diversity.
You know I'm gonna put the clip here, right?
I'm gonna fucking ether you. Any other black folk want to engage in radical activist language in this fucking chat?
Who helps progressive candidates like Zoran Mamdani, who works right over there, get elected.
He was only elected after disavowing Hasan, and any candidate that Hasan has supported who has won has actually won because they were a Mamdani-backed candidate.
To me, I see him as like a good guiding light of progressivism and like trying to get better candidates rather than just your typical establishment Democrat.
Hey there, guy with no name and no qualifications. The only people Hasan is backed to have won were people chosen and backed by Zoran Mamdani. Hasan had nothing to do with it. You're giving him credit for things he had no participation in.
But to others, he represents the downfall of America.
That's not what that Fox News headline said. I thought you were a professional journalist. Don't you know how to make your visuals match your vocals?
An anti-Zionist chauvinist.
Are you squeezing those 2 traits together so you don't have to go into detail about that first one?
Who would rather show off rather than help people.
Showing off is everything that Hasan is. That's his purpose in life, is to convince other people that he is an important, intelligent person.
If you spend some time with Hasan, that like, yeah, he has those like edges to him, but he really means what he said.
That was not a full-fledged endorsement, but who is this guy anyways? How can I trust him when I can't even see what room he's in?
But who really is Hasan Piker?
A Turkish anchor baby?
I've been a digital culture journalist for the past decade.
Has your work improved since you began, or has it always been this shitty?
And other than an interview that I did with him a few years ago and some articles over the years.
Did you move those out of chronological order so we couldn't see how you started out more critical than you ended up?
I never really watched his content. I really only understood him through the context of these clips.
In the Hall of the Mountain King like this, I would have to call it musical hyperbole.
You support terrorism, question mark? No, I don't. I don't support the state of Israel, and I don't support the state of the United States of America.
1, he didn't answer the question, and 2, he does support America with his taxes.
So I decided to reach out to the people who know him the most.
His family and friends?
His fans.
If you really think his fans know him best, I don't trust your judgment as a journalist.
The viewers who spend dozens of hours a week watching him on Twitch talk about politics, culture, and the news.
Have any of these people interacted with Hasan IRL? Are any of these people aware of who he is when he's not on camera? Because what you're presenting here is a false perspective. None of these people know him. They know his content.
What I learned is Hasan Piker is a complicated individual
He's not intelligent enough to be complicated.
who can't really be captured in those viral moments and clips.
You mean like the clips of him complaining about black people in his chat, one of which I have shared here, but yes, there's more.
Hasan can be a bit brash.
Actually, there's this much more accurate word that we say in a sort of sing-song way when you're watching one of my favorite movies.
Brad Majors.
Asshole!
His bravado can kind of get in the way of his message.
That's not bravado. That's a narcissistic ego.
And boy, can that message be difficult for a moderate or someone that disagrees with Hasan.
So it's just a coincidence that you chose a moment in his stream when the words of someone else being highlighted are right up there, so we might accidentally think that Hasan said or is saying those words when they're words said by Zoran Mamdani.
But at the end of the day, people tend to love him.
I don't believe you.
So welcome to my channel. This is Stephen Asarch Talks.
I trust Steven to not fall for shit like that.
That quote. Do you realize how you just shot your own credibility in the foot? You shot both feet. You're not walking home, buddy.
When I released my Asmongold video, which you should totally watch.
Yeah, but why did you title it that? In fact, why did you put Inside the Mind on your thumbnail for this video? It has nothing to do with what's inside the mind of the person you're talking about. It's what's inside the minds of the people who are slavishly devoted to the person you're talking about.
Hasan watched it and shared his thoughts on the subject.
Why should I care about his thoughts? I don't trust him to say anything that's actually credible and or true. And I don't trust you.
Which creator's fan should I look into next? Like, I feel like if he did something like this in my community, I suspect that the outcome would be very different. And I know that because journalists have profiled my fans.
When and where have journalists published articles after talking with your fans?
So I decided, sure, that would be a great idea to figure out what his fans think about Hasan.
But how does that teach us anything? If they're his fans, then they're going to have positive thoughts of him. This is not educational in any way. It's just spreading the message that Hasan Piker's really a good guy. Really. Really, people like him, I swear. Here are some of those people. They're totally normal people, can't you tell?
I posted a tweet, and Hasan posted that tweet on his stream.
You should not be sounding that excited. It's a little sus.
If you speak to his, oh yeah, Stephen Asarch, who did the Asmongold video, he saw my response to it. He was on honeymoon. Flex, by the way.
Oh, Steven, you're such a normie. Congratulations on your wedding, and that's probably the only thing I'm going to congratulate you for because this video is trash.
He said, while I was on honeymoon and saw the Hun react to my Asmongold video and theorized that if I spoke to his fans, the outcome would be very different. While I'm working on my reaction, I wanted to reach out to Hasan Piker fans and ask, why do you like Hasan? How many hours a week do you spend watching him? What do you think people misunderstand about him?
Did you ask any other forums, or were your questions restricted to Twitter?
So I got a flood of information.
We must have different definitions for the word information.
Over 300 people responded to me on Twitter, email, Discord, and someone even found my Reddit. From those 300, I interviewed 15.
How did you decide which people you were going to interview? What was the selection process? What qualifications did they need to have?
And some of their stories were fascinating.
You find pits for Piker fascinating?
Adria's a mom who wants to fight back against the defamation Hasan receives.
Are you implying that she's a stay-at-home mom and that's why she has enough time to watch Hasan?
Posting live clips taken directly from his live streams.
Oh, no, she makes money off of him.
I'm a mom, and a lot of people are shocked that I'm like a mom and I do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't sex work. What is it that you do that shocks people?
Like on Twitter, like a lot of people are like, how do you do what you do? And it's a lot easier to do what you do when your needs are met here in Canada.
You're not even American?
Ben is a former Mormon and H3 fan, so he's escaped 2 cults.
It doesn't display a lot of journalistic integrity to call the fans of a podcast a cult without providing any evidence that they are one.
He's the only liberal in his Western mountain community.
He lives in South Park?
And is absolutely willing to push back on his neighbors.
That doesn't sound like a positive. That makes him sound like an asshole.
I grew up very Mormon, come from a very Mormon household. I was raised very strict, where I think that also made me want to, go the opposite way.
I still don't know anything about you. I know that you were raised in Mormonism, but I don't know where you are, I don't know what you do, and I don't know what effect being a fan of Hasan Piker has had on your life.
And so when I was supposed to go on a mission is kind of when I just figured out, like, I don't know if I believe
that ancient Jews built boats and sailed to America.
So much in the Mormon church anymore, and don't want to go on a mission, and I became kind of a black sheep, if you will.
This is a very slow biography. That was when you were 19. How many years ago was that?
Yuval grew up in Israel and served in the IDF, where he listened in on Hezbollah communications. But after spending some time traveling the world and becoming more radically left, he denounced his former country.
That's a Shonda.
I don't think people are bad or good. I think everyone's a little selfish and people can do bad things or good things. I think if you're serving the IDF, you're doing a bad thing. I think if you grow out of it and you look back, when I was a kid, I didn't have the political knowledge and understanding, right? To really view it that way.
Wow, it's another Moses Hochman.
And I want to be grateful toward myself.
That's so nice that you're able to give yourself grace. It really shows how much you care about everybody else.
Eric grew up with Rush Limbaugh in his ear and started going down the gamer right-wing rabbit hole, but managed to pull himself out before he was too far gone.
When I hear right-wing rabbit hole, I don't think of Asmongold first.
What really hit it for me is I was watching Hasan and then clips of Asmongold at that point.
You were watching entire streams of Hasan, but only clips of Asmongold. Couldn't he have been taken out of context?
And I started seeing things kind of go on a turn for the worse with the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial.
What do you mean worse? Worse from what? What are we even talking about?
It just turned into a giant content machine. While I was watching Hasan more and more.
Yes, but why? What was it specifically about Hasan's coverage that made him more credible than other internet commentators?
And especially caring about that kind of thing.
What kind of thing? Femme fatales and dangerous women who will mess up your life, and it's totally her fault even though you're twice her age, have much more life experience, and have been proven to be, at the very least, a problematic alcoholic.
And the politics that underlied with Hasan's content.
The implication being that in 2021, 2022, Hasan had not yet chosen politics as the main course. It was just one of the side dishes.
I was like, what is Asmon doing? He's it feels like there's a huge disconnect there.
And there's a huge disconnect here. What do you mean? It feels like. You're not completing your thoughts. We don't know what you're thinking because you don't have the words to say it.
And then it became more obvious that it was just, in my opinion, a grift.
That's great that you have an opinion, but you shouldn't be just expressing that opinion without providing evidence for your opinion, because this is meant to be an informative piece of media. So is Steven really bad at interviewing people, or is he just really bad at choosing things to put in a video, or was there nothing good to use and this was the best he got?
Anna is an immigration lawyer who is seeing firsthand what ICE and this administration's immigration policy is doing to those seeking refuge.
So have I. It's been happening in my community. Well, the community upstairs, of course.
I'm friends with a lot of the chatters in the community that have been long-term communities.
You're friends with a lot of chatters, which means you have a lot of, quote, friends, unquote, online, which means none of this is real.
And I had one chatter message me the other day, and he was just like, oh, everything sucks, nobody's doing anything. And I just had to remind him that we have to have revolutionary optimism.
Well, maybe if the chatter got off their ass and into the streets, they could help make things change. And don't relabel that meme. That meme means nothing matters, and that's either a great thing or a terrible thing. Relabeling it and including it here just looks like filler.
And for myself, to keep my mental sanity, I have to be delusional.
The exemplary Hasan fan is delusional. I think I already knew that.
I have to think that things are going to get better because, especially, immigration, I could tell you story, we could have 3-hour conversations about how cruel this administration is, right?
Could we? Because you too have this amazing ability to speak without saying anything of substance.
And I wanted to make sure I wasn't just getting Hasan's traditional audience.
This doesn't belong here. This belongs when you're talking about how you found the people to interview in the first place.
When he does his census, a lot of them are workers that like have full-time jobs, that like they're an older demographic. A lot of them just watch for news.
Get ready, guys. Steven's about to lie to us about the results of one of Hasan's audience surveys.
Hasan's audience is mainly white, male, millennial, and makes between 50 to 100K.
No, they don't. You think by lying about what I'm seeing on screen, you can convince me that I'm not seeing what I'm seeing? The majority of his audience is unemployed.
What I found is that the average Hasan viewer either watches him live on his stream.
I try to watch Hasan live, but I work, I stream, he does this 8 hours a day. I prefer watching his YouTube.
Or spends their time watching his VODs on YouTube.
That's not information, that's filler. In fact, most of this has been filler.
Some are democratic socialists.
You know, being a democratic socialist, that's what I like to call myself. There aren't a lot of communities where you feel like you really can belong and your opinion, that people share the same opinion as you.
Well, if you join the DSA, you can make a whole group of friends who think exactly the same way you do.
And a lot of them just used Hasan to replace the traditional media coverage they were already watching.
And that makes him dangerous because everything is from his perspective. There are no editors. There are no checks or balances at all.
I used to love mainstream media. Until I realized how fucked up and how skewed everything was.
That's just repeating something Hasan himself has said.
Unlike a lot of influencers who tend to spread doomerism when it comes to their content, Hasan is more upbeat, he's more hopeful, and his viewers reflect that.
Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining.
It's not a thing of, hey, socialism is when no money and no phone or no anything really, no consumerism. If this is the system that we live in, then we have to play the part and slowly hope that we can change it for the better.
I find it very telling that all of these Hasan fans talk about their feelings and hopes for a better future and don't actually talk about making the change themselves to create that better future.
But I also wanted weirdos.
I guess we also have different definitions for the word weirdo.
And this guy says, if you speak to Hasan fans, you will be speaking to absolute lunatics who will threaten to rape and kill you over a minor difference of opinion. That's the difference between the two audiences. Nobody has threatened me with any of those yet.
That's someone who dislikes Hasan describing his community in a way that you probably find inaccurate. So why is it here in the first place? Are you trying to say that Hasan doesn't have any weirdos in his audience? Because you've already shown us a few.
I desperately wanted to get people who weren't the most normal human beings.
No, you don't. You weren't. You have no interest in finding weirdos. The goal of this video is to prove to the world that Hasan is normal and his fans are normal. You're not interested in weirdos. You're just lying to us about it so you can say Hasan fans aren't weirdos.
I wanted those that were outlandish. People that could kind of match the energy of my Asmongold people.
What is that imagery meant to convey?
But I just couldn't find any. I looked through hundreds of messages.
Have you not realized that you're the weirdo?
And they were all fairly normal people.
Fairly normal is not the same thing as normal.
With jobs and hobbies and lives.
So it's not a true representation of Hasan's fandom because 27% of his fans are unemployed.
But mostly, they were just regular folk.
So we also have different definitions for the word regular.
I don't think that we're as toxic as many people may claim we are. Really, we just want to give people health care.
How are you working to make that happen? By watching Hasan?
We also would like health care and ensuring that material needs can be met without breaking people's wallets and making sure that everyone has a roof over their heads.
Want. Want. Why don't you do? I said do.
And I've actually come up with a list of reasons why people like Hasan.
I don't need a visual for that. I believe you that there's a list. In fact, I'm sure you're about to share it with me.
First off, he's hot.
Or not. He was hot when he was in his mid to late 20s. Now he's in his mid 30s and he's getting a little skinny. I think his head is finally matching the size of his body.
Hot. He's hot. He's very hot.
Everyone I interviewed mentioned Hasan was hot and attractive.
Hasan is young, attractive.
People always make jokes saying like they will people be drawn in by his looks and then they'll stay for his takes.
Anybody else notice that this footage is years old?
He's smart, he's intelligent, he's well-spoken.
If Hasan were those things, there wouldn't be all these clips of him all over the internet that you keep saying are out of context.
He's attractive.
So my wife likes him because he's attractive.
The wording of Cam's answer lets me know that you specifically asked these people if Hasan was attractive.
They also agreed with a lot of the things he says.
You had to add most as a caveat. That's very interesting to me because you'd think that Hasan fans would agree with everything he says.
Or he aligns with me in a lot of different things, but he does have a lot of influence and his word does carry a lot of weight with me. And, when it comes to politics, we agree with 99% of everything.
That just ruined your caveat. He says he agrees with Hasan on 99% of things, which is a lot more than most. That's nearly all.
He's also accessible. People can just write chat messages and get directly to him. You can't do that with Rachel Maddow.
I mean, you can. I'm sure she's still on Twitter. You can tweet her. It doesn't mean she'll respond, just like it doesn't mean Hasan will respond to you.
I think that's number one is accessibility. You can pop up on a stream. I have his stream up right now, You can type in chat and maybe get a response.
Maybe get a response. That's not accessibility. That's the illusion of accessibility.
He's also consistently live every single day. It doesn't matter where you are, you can tune in and watch it.
That's a complete nonsense statement. It's 2026. I can catch pretty much any media I want whenever I want from a device I keep in my pocket.
And if you don't catch him live, there's still hundreds of hours of VODs that you can do to kind of get what he's saying.
VODs that you can do? Do you mean watch? Holy crap.
I've always been on Twitch, but never watching political streams. I started watching him and it just became like a daily try to watch him. And then it became I'm going to watch his VODs at twice the speed. I try to watch all of the VODs, especially while I'm working.
There's no reason to label this guy as an XH3 fan unless he's specifically talking about leftovers.
So in order to know Hasan, we kind of have to start at the beginning.
A very good place to start.
Hasan was born in 1991 in New Jersey.
To non-citizen parents who flew in just to have their anchor baby.
But went back to Turkey when he was very young.
That is such dishonest framing. They came to America, gave birth, and immediately took the baby back to Turkey. There was no plan to raise him in America.
To live a more affluent lifestyle with his parents.
If his parents hadn't brought him home and raised him in Turkey, he would have grown up an orphan on the streets, poor in America.
You've seen the horse picture that my last Asthma Gold viewer absolutely loved.
We've all seen this picture, so I might as well say this here. Why do you keep saying Asthma Gold? Because it's not cute, it's not funky, it's not fresh, it just makes you look stupid.
The first thing that really got me hooked with watching more of him is he was born in Jersey, but he grew up in Turkey.
That's how anchor babies work.
I think for me, I'm someone who loves to understand others.
And we also have different definitions for the word empathy. My God, that's 4 words now, Steven.
When he was in college, he said that his family started to lose their wealth.
Exactly, he said it. There's no actual proof it's true.
I said I was broke because my parents, my dad, went broke by the time I got to college.
If we pretend this is true and your father really went broke, that still wouldn't be a problem because thanks to your grandfather, your uncle and mother invested in a lot of real estate. So you were fine.
And went back to New Jersey to attend college.
Yeah, it was time for him to act as that anchor.
Where he went to Rutgers and got a degree in political science and communications.
These pieces of clip art you're adding are very unprofessional.
While in his last year of college, he managed to get the Nepo Baby boost. Sorry, Pirate Software, and got a job working at his Uncle Cenk's internet political show, The Young Turks.
Named after a Turkish supremacist political party.
There, he sort of floundered around for a bit, coming up with his identity.
That wasn't floundering. He had an identity. It was a shitty identity. So now you're trying to make it look like it was all an accident?
There are a bunch of clips from that era of him being a super bro that have not aged well in the slightest, and he has mostly denounced.
What do you mean mostly denounced? He thinks some of that stuff is acceptable?
Those were satire, and that literally was like 10 years ago.
If nobody's laughing, it isn't satire. I believe the word you're looking for is cringe.
But are still used by people online to paint him as, you know, the alpha bro Chad that they want him to be.
Being an alpha bro Chad isn't necessarily a negative. This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I think people do call him a bro, but he's not an alpha. He's barely a beta. And he's not a Chad. He's more of a chunk.
In 3rd grade, I cheated on my history exam. In 4th grade, I stole my Uncle Max's toupee and I glued it on my face when I played Moses in my Hebrew school play.
That shit is not even archived. That shit was like deleted. And some fucking Nazis found it like a while ago to try and cancel me.
Well, if they found it, it must have been archived. Don't you think?
He manages to nail down a format that works for him and starts posting on Facebook under the breakdown.
I was a member of TYT because I didn't watch it live. I would go back and watch the VOD. And Hasan, I mean, he showed up and like as a presenter sometimes.
Sorry to interrupt you, Cam, but Steven had me under the impression that the breakdown was separate from the Young Turks, but this footage looks like it is the Young Turks.
I didn't like him then. It kind of started clicking whenever the breakdown videos started to come out. That's when I was like, oh, I like what this guy's saying. It's very provocative.
I like what this guy's saying. The things he says make people angry.
There, he creates the prototype for the content that we all kind of know today. He's brash, he's politically centered, and he's conventionally attractive.
Okay, this imagery is not of a conventionally attractive man, all right? Not everybody's into lumberjacks.
I'm just gonna do a year in review of my new favorite woke prince, Ben Shapiro's year in review.
The people who started watching him the earliest that I spoke to were watching him during this Young Turks era.
Yeah, he's still part of the Young Turks. He's just been demoted to Facebook because nobody likes him on YouTube.
I first came across Hasan on Facebook, of all places. I just remember his videos popping up on my feed where he was doing the breakdown on TYT. And so he was touching on a lot of issues, obviously the police brutality. There was a lot of stuff around Israel-Palestine that at that point in time, no one was really talking about.
Steven, Kay, I don't think that's your word. Old head is not for you to be using. That's not yours. You need to put it back and respect other people's culture.
So the views just start pouring in. But on Facebook, you kind of hit a wall pretty easily because the audience is just boomers and my wife for some reason.
Using that picture of Shrimp Jesus implies that AI photographs existed back then, which they didn't. Just show some old people.
The only person I know outside Hasan's community that watches Hasan is my mom. But my mom, because she follows him on Facebook. So she thinks that Hasan is a Facebook influencer and she only watches Hasan clips on Facebook.
The music is patronizing and the attitude is patronizing. What's wrong with boomers exactly? They're not a good audience for Hasan because they don't have as much time to watch him as the unemployed? No, that can't be right. Boomers are retired. They have plenty of time to do fun things.
So in 2018, he decides to make the move over from Facebook to Twitch to find a younger audience, according to an interview he did with Kotaku.
What sort of Dagobah sentence structure was that? You're supposed to say in an interview with Kotaku and then provide the information, not the other way around.
But I was working at Twitch on the partnerships team. Hasan had joined the platform pretty sort of like, you know, recently after his departure from TYT or however that had happened.
Did his uncle fire him or what?
That I remember talking to somebody who was managing that like relationship between the creator and our partner manager and being like, yeah, you should really like help them figure this out, help this Hasan person figure this out, because I think this could be really big. Like clearly there's like a path forward for somebody not just doing games coverage.
See, Zachary here discovered Hasan. Without Zachary discovering Hasan, Twitch would have never been as interested in Hasan as they should have been. Is that what you're telling us, Zachary?
Before Hasan showed up, Twitch was an entirely different platform. IRL had just been introduced a couple years earlier.
Please stop contradicting yourself. You told me just now that Hasan's content changed Twitch, at the same time telling me that the change actually began 2 years before he joined.
But it was still mainly about the gaming.
It's okay, guys. It's okay. The fact that IRL streaming started 2 years before Hasan joined and that changed Twitch doesn't change the fact that Twitch was still mostly gaming until Hasan joined. Jesus. Did he start the hot tub party streams too?
Viewers claim that they bled purple. They would talk in Twitch emotes like Kappa and Poggers.
Yeah, but what does any of that mean? You've provided no context. I don't understand what you're trying to prove because I don't understand all of your references here.
And they would one day dream of reaching partner and getting that exclusive Twitch purple hoodie that I'm not sure they even make anymore.
What was the point of your last statement? And why couldn't you put the purple hoodie thing before your comment about people saying they bleed purple? If you had done it that way, we would have had context for the color purple. And no, you're not getting a reference or an insert here because I still haven't seen The Color Purple, the musical. Have any of you guys seen it?
He really pioneered this idea of covering the news. He started with trying to cover politics through gaming, Fortnite and all of those things. And it was trying to make, that's what everyone was doing at the time, which was how do we get to Twitch and how do we activate gamers and do this? Obviously, I don't believe it was that cynical from his perspective.
If it's obvious, you don't have to say it, which means that you're saying it because it's not obvious, because you know that he is just doing the grift. He is making his dime however he can.
And his content is pretty much what he does now, except he used to play video games.
You've run into an issue here. What does he do now? You've never actually specifically identified his content other than saying it has to do with politics.
He talks about politics, culture, internet gossip, whatever he can kind of do to fill the 8-hour gap he needs to speak during the day.
Are you aware that you just described all of Hasan's content as filler? Whatever he has to do to make the 8 hours he needs to make in order to make the amount of money he wants to make. You just said it's all filler.
He's done a lot of things that I think are challenging the assumptions of what a Twitch archetype is.
An archetype is a fictional character, so what you're accidentally implying here is that Hasan's persona is fiction. I don't think you meant to do that.
Pushing those boundaries, and this is more recently, but bringing in other lines of culture, other spaces. Obviously, in the beginning, it was just you can talk to the Twitch audience as if though they aren't just a bunch of gamers.
You are saying things that the more intelligent of the population would call self-explanatory and or obvious.
It is very productive to be of the culture, to be a gamer, to be somebody who, is these things.
But Hasan isn't part of that culture. He's tried to adopt gamer culture, but he's failed miserably. I mean, he doesn't even watch anime or read manga.
Rather than just what I would say, your Hillary Clinton Pokemon go to the polls. It's you're not just pandering.
That was a joke about the word go.
In 2020, Hasan broke the internet.
I've come to accept your hyperbole.
When he streamed Among Us with AOC and Ilhan Omar. I was working at Newsweek at the time, and everyone around me in the newsroom saw this as truly groundbreaking political content.
If it's too late to do another take, fix it in post.
When all I saw was a group of strangers trying to kill each other in a virtual spaceship.
What do you mean all you saw? You were working in a newsroom at Newsweek and you didn't know who Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Ilhan Omar were?
But that moment cemented the future of political discourse that we're currently dealing with today.
Who's that guy? And you cannot possibly be stating that this single game of Among Us has completely changed political discourse on the internet forever. That's what you're saying.
For 2020, a politician appearing on a live stream or a podcast was rare. Mark Maron would get Obama, and that was pretty much it.
Do you not know that the podcast has existed as a medium for over 20 years at this point, and making such a broad claim is just inane of you? Are you going to ignore the fact that the pandemic led to people being more open to appear on alternative media sources?
But after that live stream, politicians realized that they had an entirely untapped audience that they could reach.
Which makes your example of people not going on podcasts even more ridiculous, because we're talking about streaming. We're not even talking about podcasts. You just brought that in so you could use Obama footage.
And they could go on their podcasts and go on their live streams and start talking with whoever the hell we want. There's no way Stephen Miller's wife would have a podcast if it wasn't for that Among Us live stream.
It's Hasan's fault. Got it.
So what happened in the Holocaust and all the pogroms were disgusting. That doesn't mean that Israel...
From there...
Hold on a second. Why did you cut it there? Why did you use that excerpt? And why did you cut it right there?
Hasan's popularity exploded, and he was no longer just a Twitch streamer. He was a voice for a generation.
You just really said that. You said that with that goofy smile because you believe it. Okay, all right, sure. Which generation?
We do need someone who has motion, a loud voice, who doesn't give a fuck, you know, to continue pushing like the message that, you know, shit is fucked up and like we need to be more aware of what is going on and who to be mad at.
Not a single one of these Hasan fans has actually explained what shit is fucked up, why and how.
Hasan outwardly denies being a terrorist, and
why did you say it like that? Why did you say it like that?
quite frankly, it bothers him when people call him that word.
Quite frankly, it bothers him when people call him a terrorist. No way, really. You still haven't said that he isn't a terrorist. In fact, you're implying that he is one, but he only expresses his terrorist leanings privately.
I wish they stopped calling me a terrorist. That's what I wish. I wish they stopped calling me a radical.
Careful the wish you make. Wishes come true, not free.
None of these people are radical. They just want healthcare. They want to hate American militarism.
Why don't you say you want those things? Why do you have to say that other people want them?
And he's being targeted by traditional media and those opposite to him on the political spectrum.
Well, he really gave them a lot of ammo when he revealed he shocked his dog regularly to keep her in place during his live streams.
The attacks, like a couple years ago, like starting 2020, right? They were mostly from like YouTubers and like drama slop tubers who were just like looking for drama. He was an easy target and they would just use anything to attack him.
Anything? Did he do so many things that they could easily pick and choose from them in order to make some sort of personal attack?
And now it's evolved into literally Fox News, you know, congressional members attacking him. Richie Torres was one of the first ones. And then I forget who the other two are that did the bill saying, you know, we need to condemn Hasan and Candace Owens.
If you don't know their names, the very least Stephen could do right now is provide us with that information.
It's actually wild because, you know, he's a Twitch streamer, right? Like, why are we putting so much attention on a Twitch streamer?
Make up your mind. Is he an important political voice? In fact, maybe the voice of a generation? Or is he just a Twitch streamer? Which one? You gotta choose one of those.
But unfortunately, it's not just those on the other aisle that are disagreeing with him, it's also Democrats.
Do you think there are people watching this video who don't understand that the Democratic Party doesn't like him either? You think that you need to tell us this, like this is new information?
Who are labeling him as an extremist.
He thinks that the state of Israel should be dissolved completely and Israelis should just go back to where they came from. He's an extremist.
Democrats are panicking, liberals are panicking, and even some conservatives are panicking. And the reason why is that, you know, like he doesn't follow the filter of the Democratic Party. He's not paid by Chorus or via the Israeli Ministry of Affairs.
Stephen, you're a professional journalist. What are you doing?
Or Foreign Affairs to do propaganda. He is also very attractive.
All right. I'll ask it. If this were a woman, would this be okay or incredibly creepy?
People started to really care about the things he did and hyper-focused on all the little clips that started to go.
Hyper-focus is a clinical term you're using inappropriately, and clips that go? Where do they go? Where do the clips go? Do they Pokemon go to the polls?
clips of him that look like he's shocking his dog.
Well, yeah, you look like you're shocking your dog when you're shocking your dog.
Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop.
You just showed me a video of a man shocking his dog and demonstrating how he gets his large, young dog to sit still for hours as a prop on his fucking live stream.
And saying that America deserved 9/11.
America deserved 9/11.
Wait, what about the part where he talks about that guy getting fucked in the eye socket by a brave Mujahideen soldier? Why'd you cut that part out, Steven?
Get captured out of context.
That's not out of context. What you just did, showing that minuscule clip of a clip, that was capturing something out of context.
And spread across social media through clippers.
Wait, you labeled one of the Hasan fans you interviewed as a clipper. Is she a bad guy?
I don't know if I want to rant about America deserved 9/11 right now.
Those are your professional instincts trying to protect you.
I remember when the whole like America deserved 9/11 thing, a lot of people were like, whoa. I'm like, the way he rationalized it, it's like decades upon decades of the US government interfering in the Middle East. You think we were not going to get attacked? People did not deserve to die, obviously, but it's like America almost getting a taste of its own medicine and purposely even ignoring the warning signs that an attack by plane was going to happen.
You agree that America deserved 9/11?
Because clipping is big business. If you can get a viral clip to go viral on different platforms.
If you can get a viral clip to go viral on different platforms. Stephen, it appears to me that you're preemptively taking adjectives that you will be using later in your sentence and inadvertently inserting them earlier in your sentences, which make your sentences no longer make sense. Just an FYI, something to look out for in your editing.
You can make real money off of it, and Hasan is a really easy way to do that.
How do you make money doing that? Come on, I'm not making enough money doing this. Tell me how to make money clipping Hasan.
There is a clipping industrial complex when it comes to like people like Hasan. Because it gets so tiring like seeing like, no, there's context to this. Stop. A 5-second clip is not the whole story.
And a clip of less than 1 second tells me even less. You gonna explain that, Steven?
But there are viewers of Hasan's who are actually trying to fight back against the clipping.
So clipping is only bad when people who don't support Hasan do it?
It is crazy. There are so many clipping accounts. It is crazy. My thing is though, is I clip in real time. That's kind of my thing. I just post things in real time.
That's why people don't believe you're a mother. Cause you're being really gross and horny for Hasan.
Before people can get to it and make it into something really bad.
Get to it and make it into something really bad. All of this is implying that these clips of Hasan have entirely been taken out of context. But you've only shown me one and you took it out of context.
When he went to China and became super excited over their little red book.
Oh my God, he had so much fun in China. They're the exact kind of communist he wants to be, the kind that gets to make and spend loads of money.
And he went to Cuba to deliver aid.
He didn't take anything to Cuba. He went to Cuba along with people who were taking things to Cuba, but he didn't take a single goddamn thing to Cuba except himself, his designer outfits, and a camera to record a fake documentary with.
These all became massive internet viral moments that had hundreds of thousands of clips being pushed online.
Dude, those were not what you just said they were. That was not what I saw there on screen.
I want to say how I feel when I see those things. I'm like, that's what you were thinking about? It flies right through my head.
That didn't actually describe any feelings. You just don't know that things are meant to go over your head, not through it.
It's like, okay, he could have a 50,000 Rolex. I mean, it'd be like, damn, 50,000 for a Rolex, that's kind of crazy. But okay, what about going to Cuba in a 50,000 Rolex, which that didn't happen. I'm just giving an example.
All of this self-owning is actually quite impressive. I'm actually surprised you don't know what watch Hasan was wearing to Cuba and exactly how much it cost, because he definitely thinks you should know.
The point is Cuba. The subject matter is there. Hasan is not the subject matter when he goes to Cuba.
He went there to film a pseudo-documentary starring himself. It was about him.
I feel like I've garnered some sort of conviction for the things that actually matter.
Well, you've certainly not earned yourself a vocabulary. You can't garner things like that. That's not what it means.
And the things that Hasan is highlighting too, like Cuba. So when he goes to Cuba in, I don't know, combined $5,000 worth of outfit, okay. Cuba's dying.
That's not funny. Why are you laughing? And how come the only thing you can say is that Cuba is dying? Can you say specifically what's wrong with Cuba, why it's wrong, and why it's important for people to have gone there in the first place? No, you can't. You know nothing. None of you know anything.
And the government started to pay attention. He's currently banned in the UK. He has a bill in Congress calling him an anti-Semite.
And the name of the sponsor is Representative Josh Gottheimer, Democrat from New Jersey. If you're a journalist, why aren't you giving us this information? Are you trying to hide this information?
And his trip to Cuba is currently under investigation.
Who is conducting this investigation?
It is literally the Streisand effect. You guys propped him up. You guys keep talking about him.
Who are you guys? Mainstream media? You're talking directly to Steven right now?
Feeding it. Like, people have been subscribing to him again because I think his subscriber count really, really went down, I think, 2023, 2024 for reasons.
Just say it. He supports Hamas.
But like mainstream media and all of his haters have been propping him up to be this big thing.
You just said the only reason that Hasan has any notoriety is because his enemies keep talking about him.
All of that attention just raised his profile, and he started giving his support to progressive candidates.
Notoriety isn't a positive thing. If he's more notorious, that doesn't mean people are going to agree with him. It means more people are going to disagree with him. So how are you connecting notorious to being a positive thing when it comes to supporting political candidates?
Like
Brad Lander, of course, was one of the winners. Daria Liza was one of the winners. Claire Valdez.
As you guys know, I'm trying to get socialists elected.
Was one of the winners. Basically, it was a clean sweep for the Zoran candidates.
Yeah, that guy just said that Zoran Mamdani is the reason those people won their campaigns. There's nothing to do with Hasan in this.
Hasan's optimism about the world.
Why do you insist on calling him an optimist? He has never been an optimist, nor has he ever presented himself as one, nor does any of his speech reflect any optimism whatsoever.
And the fact that he actually mobilizes his audience to do something about it.
And you've not yet noticed that the only effect he's had is in New York City?
New York City! New York City!
Is incredibly appealing.
So's a Mandarin Orange. Sorry, he's not appealing. He's not. He is not appealing.
I think he deserves some glaze as well, because it feels like everyone's attacking him.
By that reasoning, every horrible person deserves some glaze as well. Go get a donut.
And I feel like, nah, he's kind of awesome, and he's really smart, and he says good things, and I support him.
How come none of you can name these good things? You can't specifically state anything that he stands for.
And like, there's points where he will say things that I disagree with, and I'm not sure that we have the same idea of how society should run. But at the same time, I feel like there's this space on the left where we can have a conversation about.
That's so easy for a man to say. Did you not see him deny the sexual assault of Israeli women on October 7th? You didn't see that? Did you somehow miss that? Or is that one of the things that you might disagree with, but you still think he's worth talking to?
Our opinions about things, and we can say this thing, and it all comes from this place of we care about this and we want things to be better. And in that context, if I disagree with someone, we will reach the conclusion that's best for everyone because we both want the same thing.
How are you unaware that Hasan wants to completely dissolve the country of Israel and make your entire family homeless and countryless? How do you feel about that? Are we going to be able to agree on that?
There's a lot that I agree with when it comes to Hasan. I'm anti-billionaire.
He's not anti-billionaire. He wants to be one.
I'm pro-government regulation. I am anti-Zionist.
Yeah, but technically I'm an anti-Zionist. And I still believe that Israel has a right to exist.
Free Palestine.
Can we free Palestine without destroying Israel? Because that's Hasan's method. It's one or the other. You don't get both. Do you not believe in a two-state solution? Do you believe we should destroy all Israel?
And I believe that the world should be a better place.
Well, I believe that children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside.
From my perspective, Zionism isn't just bad in the genocidal nature of it. I think it also screws us up. I think it's bad for us.
Who's us? You're a former Israeli. That says you're no longer an Israeli. Did you renounce your citizenship? Whose citizen are you? Do you have a country? Are you a man without a country? That's very intriguing. We need to learn more about this one.
I've seen how it fucks the brains of people. I've seen how the country has gone more and more to the right. I've seen how it deletes cultures, our own Jewish cultures of different, like I've only when I was like in my 20s, I learned like songs of different type of groups.
Even if they're meant to be Kahanists, this is still anti-Semitic.
So Zionism kind of flattens everything. When they ask you what's the most Jewish thing to you, they're not actually asking about Jewish culture, they're erasing it.
Wait, is that meant to be Charlie Kirk? What the fuck do Israelis care about Charlie Kirk?
And so I see that, for me, that's like, I feel like Israel is under, I like to call it a miasma.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I have to ask. Did you have any choice, approval, or input into what imagery would be placed over your words on screen?
And he sees that and talks to that nature. And so, to me, Zionism is anti-Semitic in its core.
Well, that's just silly. Everybody's talking as if there's only one type of Zionist. Zionism itself is the belief in a Jewish homeland. Anything more specific is its own specific flavor of Zionism. Well, yes, I did screenshot and read this aloud. You'll find it at the end of the video.
Personally, I don't really want to watch Hasan.
Can you understand how a viewer might find that statement incredibly difficult to believe?
He's not really my vibe. I don't really love political punditry, except when I used to watch The Daily Show back when I was in middle school.
Are you saying that Hasan's content is only worthy of a middle school audience? It sounds like that's what you're implying.
And I want to make it clear that it's not just Hasan's haters that have disagreements with Hasan. Even his own viewers have things that they don't like about him.
No, actually, it's much darker than that. They love it when he yells at them and gets into arguments and call him Daddy Hasan, and it's really, really creepy.
Some of the people I spoke with really dislike the new suits that he keeps wearing.
I feel like Hasan has grown in style, really takes himself seriously. He's starting to wear the suits now, and I'm like, okay, you can stop that now.
But he has to wear the suits now. He doesn't have the body he used to. He doesn't have the hairline he used to. And he's worried about the waistline now, too.
Like, I know he's been wearing suits a lot lately to, like, I guess, woo the Fox News people or whatever.
That's all bullshit. He only wears the suit because he thinks it makes him look like Clark Kent. He has Superman fantasies.
That he is incredibly bro-y.
There's a bunch of different things that people can misunderstand with him. So people who are too serious will see him as like a dumb jock or whatever. Like even sometimes I'll show, because my family is socialist, so they have the same viewpoints as me, but they don't really like watching him because they find him a little bit too abrasive sometimes, which he is. Like,
the word you're looking for isn't abrasive, it's asshole. Wait, if Hasan's Brad, he needs a Janet. Where's our slut?
That he keeps fighting with chat no matter what.
He does get angry.
Why is every baboon in my chat so quick to try to overcorrect, thinking that you're gonna come across as smart?
Because they watch you and they think you're coming across as smart. So I don't know why you're surprised. They're just imitating what they're seeing.
Like, most people understand exactly what I'm saying.
Hasan, you know that's not true. You regularly drop entire words from the statements you make and don't even realize that you haven't communicated an entire idea. You leave huge blank spaces and then get pissed off when people can't fill them in for you.
Why are people so stupid? Like, fuck.
Which, I mean, I think it just comes with the territory. Like, if you're just talking to a crowd of people at all times that are talking back to you, I think it can cause some sort of negativity to come out every now and then.
But it's not every now and then. It's every single time he's streaming.
Since the community is very white, I think that sometimes Black and brown voices are not taken as seriously.
I already had the clip, right? I'm sure there are more, but I don't want to hear them.
I know, like, this year, I think he's really tried to have a diverse group of politicians.
He didn't choose those candidates. And don't you think he has some responsibility for keeping his majority white audience from being super racist?
But he can't help that the community itself is sometimes very aggressive. And sometimes I have felt that, like, my opinion is being ostracized because, you know, it's not the majority opinion in that chat.
Whose chat is it? Who runs the chat? Who runs the stream? Who put this all together in the first place? Who attracts the audience that is so rude to you? This is a Hasan issue, and you're choosing to ignore all of the red flags. Are you wearing rose-colored glasses?
He does handle the topic of Black issues, I guess, better than other people or his counterparts would.
That tells me that Hasan and whoever you consider to be his counterparts are performative white assholes.
Who aren't Black, kind of thing. He handles them in the way that he knows how to handle them as a white guy.
Oh, okay. So it's fine. It's fine that Hasan's racist, because he's white, and what can you expect from white people?
I do think because he's afraid of being clipped out of context, because of what he's been accused of before, that he just lets the community like do whatever because he's trying to rattle off like a bunch of like talking points that like we've all heard before.
And now it's turning into a criticism?
And then because he's trying to get through it, people are in the chat are just saying a bunch of crazy shit.
It's his chat. He's in control of it. He decides who mods. He decides who says what. He decides which words are acceptable and which ones aren't. You cannot blame the state of Hasan's chat on the chatters when he's the one who created it in the first place.
Your statement itself is not incorrect. Okay? The deployment in this situation against me, as though I am at odds with what you're saying, is incorrect.
Is he like stoned or something? I've never seen him not yelling about this shit.
Chat is doing the thing where they agree with my overall analysis, but come at it as though they're in disagreement. There is no disagreement.
George Orwell, party of two. The party told you not to believe the evidence of your eyes and ears.
And I can't tell if people just have some kind of, I mean, tensions are high. So I guess that's probably part of the reason.
The main reason that your chat is both racist, argumentative, cruel, and full of personal attacks is because that's how you've trained them. You reward them for that behavior with attention. They call you daddy.
But most of all, he's too hyperbolic with his statements.
You missed the part where he drops essential words from his communication and then gets pissed off that people can't read his mind. I'd say the hyperbole is secondary.
Oh, well, you know, I said America deserved 9/11 and it was misconstrued.
But it wasn't misconstrued. You gave plenty of context for why you believe America deserved 9/11. The problem is that nobody agrees with you and thinks it's a horrible thing to say that a country deserves a terrorist attack.
You know, I do have sometimes, I use hyperbolic language and it gets taken out of context or whatever.
No. The problem is people take your hyperbolic language literally, and then you claim, no, I was being hyperbolic. I didn't really mean that America deserved 9/11. I just gave you a whole bunch of reasons why America did deserve 9/11. It was hyperbole. Don't you get that?
I have friends who are same political spectrum as I am, and they see him as an extreme, like too extreme for their taste. And it's mainly just because of the clips and the hyperbolic statements. I think it's misunderstood. That doesn't make him look good. He's very provocative in what he says.
These are his fans who are saying this. These are his fans who are full of critique that they're trying to pretend isn't critique.
The ultra-Orthodox Jews leaving Israel, fucking hilarious. Okay? If they serve in the military and then they get their fucking untrained, inbred asses shipped into southern Lebanon.
Oh dear. I see what's going on here. None of you know what the word hyperbole means. He's not being hyperbolic. He's just being racist.
That was a bad phrasing. Yeah. Like, does he think that Hasidic Jews are inbred because he's an anti-Semitic? No, because anti-Semitic people, they don't just say one thing.
He doesn't just say one thing. He says lots of things. And one of the biggest pieces of evidence of his anti-Semitism is his desire to destroy the country of Israel.
If he was a Nazi, he would say other stuff.
You can be an anti-Semite without being a Nazi. In fact, one of the things that Hasan does quite often, which is very anti-Semitic, is call Israelis Nazis.
he would have, it will reflect in other ways.
You mean like the ways the other Hasan fans just described, with people disliking his content and people feeling uncomfortable in his chat rooms because everybody is racially abusive?
He makes a grand, over-the-top joke or statement that in context seems okay.
Hasan is quite often speaking in context when he's saying horrible things. Nobody has to take him out of context because he provides it himself.
But when you look at it in a 30-second clip, it's absolutely awful.
Yeah, so imagine how bad it is when there's more than 30 seconds.
Kill them. Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
I hate this clip. He puts an S at the end of blood. Blood is already singular and plural. You don't need to add an S at the end.
It allows those clippers to kind of run free and go wild. And his viewers are like, why are you saying these things? You're just encouraging this behavior to grow.
No, we just saw his viewers. They say he's just being hyperbolic and everybody's taking him out of context.
I don't know the context of these particular statements, but here's a quote from you about landlords who don't want to rent out their properties. You said, kill them, murder them, let the streets soak in their red capitalist blood. Doesn't that make you part of the problem with violent discourse?
This was in a conversation that I was having with a landlord friend of mine, and it's of course hyperbolic.
No, you can't even excuse yourself, right? What you need to say is, I was joking with my friend who's a landlord and I was teasing him. By using the word hyperbolic or hyperbole, you're indicating that everything you said was an exaggeration of your true feelings. So you really do hate all landlords.
And it's not meant to be sincere. This is not sincere advocacy.
It's not any type of advocacy.
It's not a real policy that I would ever advocate for. And that's precisely the reason why when Republicans were desperately looking for any sort of incisive language that they could present, they went back to a very obvious instance of LARPing.
No. You do not get to say that was live action roleplay. Unless you've got a foam sword in your hand, you're not LARPing.
But again, Hasan is a streamer. His job is to go live for 8 hours a day.
A job he invented. He's the one who decided that he was going to be going live 8 hours a day. He's the one who put himself in the position to be clipped, whether out of context or in context.
He has to keep talking.
No, he doesn't. He's chosen to do that. This is a choice he's made. He's not some sort of martyr. He's put himself in the position to be taken out of context, and the truth is, he's rarely taken out of context. He's awful in context.
He just has to keep saying things because he has to keep his viewers entertained. He has to keep the algorithms entertained.
See, guys, it's not Hasan's fault he says stupid shit. It's the fault of his job. It's the fault of the algorithm. It's the fault of his audience, but it's not his fault.
His language is hyperbolic, but I for one has never, heard a call of actually, causing harm or violence or anything like that to get there.
That's not a denial that it happened. It's just stating that you were never personally a witness.
He's never done that.
No, you just said you've never witnessed it. That's not the same thing unless you're omniscient.
I'm sick and tired of it. Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponent's guts on there, okay? You need to be gutting them.
He's using hyperbole. If you put the word hyperbolic there like that, I think you're talking about mathematical concepts. Are we talking about the trousers of time here?
You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their intestines just ride on stage. What the fuck is this shit, man?
He's only saying these things because he doesn't have any true criticisms. He can't say anything that makes sense or is intelligent, so he just says it's hyperbole and threatens people with violence.
So at least not to how I've interpreted it.
First, you say you've never witnessed it. Then you say definitively that it never happened. Now you're saying that it may have happened, but you chose not to interpret it that way.
But even with all their criticisms, overall, they still prefer it to mainstream media.
Hasan isn't an object. He's a human being.
Which has sort of gone on a long death march over the past decades.
Well, then it's your fault. You said you've been working as a journalist for the past 10 years. I'm gonna blame you. I mean, that's as much logic as already exists in this nonsense video.
Political punditry started when Rush Limbaugh crawled out of the primordial ooze of AM radio.
Political punditry existed before Rush Limbaugh. Holy crap. You graduated university?
And evolved with Rachel Maddow with the millennials.
So the totality of political punditry is exemplified by Rush Limbaugh and Rachel Maddow? Nobody else exists.
Reaching its final form with Hasan Piker.
So the Pokemon evolution of the political pundit starts at Rush Limbaugh, then becomes Rachel Maddow, and ends as Hasan Piker as the ultimate political pundit, which is something that you believe was begun by Rush Limbaugh.
People love to get their information from somewhere else and have it filtered through someone else's ideology.
That didn't make any sense. If people don't get their information from somewhere else, are they going to find it within themselves?
I used to love watching Jon Stewart on The Daily Show.
When you were in middle school, so you think it's juvenile like you were.
Shit on Bush and all the horrible stuff of that era.
I don't believe in wearing a helmet. Unless I have crashed and am flying towards the curb noggin first.
That's so lazy of you. You couldn't find a better segment?
I find too much political content brain rotting. Look what happened to Asmongold.
Asmongold. Now you're making me think you have a speech impediment and I'm being the asshole.
It's not commentary, it's the truth. That's why you support organizations that want to genocide Jews and that are literally designated terrorist organizations. I mean, this isn't commentary. People can find this on your Wikipedia, probably.
That was Asmongold talking about Hasan. If you want to demonstrate that Asmongold is brain rotted, why don't you show him talking about something obviously unintelligent? He does do that.
Now, Hasan isn't for me.
I can't believe that. I'm still holding out hope that because you're a professional, the reason this sucks so hard is because you're a fanboy.
But it's clear he's important to a lot of people.
Not as many as you're trying to imply.
His political actions, bro-y attitude, and overall optimistic view on the world.
See, like that. Where the hell are you getting optimism from? Hasan is one of the most negative assholes I've ever had the misfortune of observing.
Has given people hope, and I can't knock that.
I can. Lots of people gave people hope. I'm sure Hitler gave people hope. I'm sure at one point Pol Pot gave people hope. Mao gave people hope. There are loads of people who give people hope who are awful people.
It's clear his viewers are looking for something to help them change.
No, that's not clear at all. If they were looking for change, they would be taking action. None of these people are taking action.
And Hasan is giving them that opportunity.
To sit on their asses and feel like they're changing the world by funding his lifestyle?
I've improved myself in my looks, my physicality. I've tried to take care of myself and my hair and going to the gym.
Wow. Hasan is so motivational. He's motivating people to look smacks.
When I can, or try to work on those muscles, not physical muscles, but like those habits. I think that's an important part of it. Because if we take care of ourselves, we can take care of the people around us.
But you don't take care of the people around you. You're the only person you take care of. You take care of yourself because you're the only person who's important to you.
And in this depressive era, and there's nothing else that gives you hope, if you have to get it from a 6'2" himbo, so be it.
Not so be it. He's a dangerous influence, and you're trying to tamp down any negativity he exhibits by passing it off as simple hyperbole.
And now I'm gonna go do something that I think a lot of Hasan fans would appreciate, and I'm gonna go work out.
Are the suits that distracting? Have you guys not noticed that he's stopped lifting? Aw, he's just a silly guy. He's not a professional journalist. He's just a silly guy being silly.
Everyone, I know you're watching this on Hasan's stream. when you get the chance, watch it on the actual stream too, and give him a like.
He means go watch the VOD on Steven's channel, but I'm sure you figured that out because you're probably more intelligent than any of the people in this video. As a person who is not a professional journalist, but another type of professional, wait, that sounds more exciting than it is. I had higher expectations for this video than I've had for anybody else's work that I've covered. And instead of getting a video from a professional journalist, I got a video that could have come from Noah Samson. I think the best way to demonstrate my conclusions are to go over this visual again. In the video, Steven quoted this number here, but as we can see from these two numbers, over 40% of Hasan's audience is either unemployed or earning less than $20,000 a year. They're white males who do not leave space for people of color in Hasan's chats. But the thing that really gets me is that they're just gonna sit there, watch Hasan, and feel better about themselves by watching Hasan, because if they're supporting Hasan, they're doing the right thing, even when that means they're doing nothing at all. Thank you for joining me in this extended look at insanity. If you are curious about Steven's little manifesto, you'll find it at the end of this video because I won't waste your time with it in the body. It is really that dumb. If you enjoy watching a lazy piece of media get completely eviscerated and you haven't already, please subscribe, like and subscribe. And if you're curious about what Steven found so important to put in all of those scrolling yellow letters, wait till after the credits and you can read along with me. Until next time, please use your critical thinking skills, and if you want change in the world, go be that change. See ya.
Hurry back, hurry back. We've been dying to have you.
My political opinions are way more complicated and nuanced than that, but I don't want to bore the audience and lose any retention I might still have, so here is a deeper breakdown of my thoughts on these topics for anyone who has a really strong pause game. For starters, I am an American, but I understand our country has done some wild stuff. From smallpox blankets to Agent Orange, there's a comically long list of atrocities that the American government has inflicted upon the world. It can be horrifying when you look back on our history. I think America as a government entity deserves criticism, but I don't think we deserved such an awful attack. That's a bit doomer for me. You disagree with Hasan. America didn't deserve 9/11. Billionaires should not exist at all. You can picture $1 million, but a human brain can't really fathom the difference between $1 million and $1 billion. I don't care how many mega yachts, sports cars, or trophy wives you get. Nobody needs that much money unless they want to reshape the world. And no single person should ever have enough power to put the world in their image. You just said it was okay if they want to reshape it. That's why I believe in democracy and want the will of the people to dictate how a society is run. Whenever you let tech oligarchs or the oldest politicians decide what's right for the masses, it just ends up becoming worse for those outside the ivory tower. I'm not a full-blown socialist who believes we need to dismantle every institution and replace it with a co-op, but I think workers' rights and protections are what matter. I've covered workplace accidents before. Check out my coverage on Mr. Beast Games, and I understand what happens when the rich folks only care about their products and not people. I am a people-first person. I believe empathy is the most important emotion in humanity, and those who lack it scare me. It's so easy to judge other strangers, immigrants, or those different from you, and it's even easier to let the government throw them away. And you're not scared of Hasan? But that creates a society of cold, hardened folks who only want their immediate family to be safe. We all have to protect each other because it's the AI-obsessed technocrats who are going to take us all down. I do agree with the former Israeli, lol. I just wanted to write a little something that goes deeper into my thoughts that nobody will probably read. If you read all this, comment on the bottom what your favorite pasta dish is. When I was young and naive like you, my favorite pasta dish was fettuccine alfredo. It's like mac and cheese for grown-ups.